Good morning, everybody. Today's daily tangle is called Gemma. That's the name right there. And it's a very simple one. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do with it. Basically, you make a rice-like shape. Within that shape, you put this S right there near the top. So it divides it in sort of 1/3 and 2/3 approximately. And then you put another rice shape there. And that's it. That's the entire thing. And then what you do with it is up to you. You could, in this sample, it shows it used, a couple of ways like this. You could put them end to end or next to each other and in a row. There's all sorts of things you could do with it. We'll just see what my pen decides to do. I think for this one, I'm going to go ahead and make a string. I don't always make a string. You guys know that. I often make a border, but I don't always make a string. So I'm going to put in my border. I don't do the whole dot thing. Some people, that's their thing. I don't usually use the dots. But I am, I think, going to use one of my favorite strings, which is dividing the tile into sort of thirds, in 3 sections, kind of like a Y shape. I don't know if you can see that there. That's one of my favorite ways to divide a tile, and I think I'm going to do, I don't know exactly what I'm going to do yet. Decide which direction I want to do it. I'll do it this way. I'm going to put one right here, kind of a big one, to just practice that shape. So I'm going to put one here and do a big rice shape right like that. You're a little far away. Let me zoom in a little bit because you're a little far away. Okay, then there's this S shape, so it kind of comes here like that. And in here, there's another rice-like shape. And that's the basic tangle right there. I'm going to decide if I want to fill it in or how I want to do it. So I think I'm going to leave it like that for the moment. I'm going to have a couple of them. Maybe this one will be, this pen's not writing very well all of a sudden. Wondering if I've grabbed the wrong one or if I accidentally squashed the nib. I'm looking at it real close. I think I've accidentally pushed too hard on my nib again. That happens sometimes. That is the thing about microns, and what some people don't like about them is that they're very delicate. So, I think I might do a line of them here. So you can see that you can do them in different scale and how they look different if they're attached than if they're just one big one, Something like that. I think I want another one that's tucked in here. Maybe even behind here. Let's do that. Like that. It needs something else too. I'm not sure what. I know. I feel it. I'm getting out of my viewfinder again. Let me zoom back out just a tad so I don't go so far off screen. I'm still getting used to moving my drawing surface somewhere else. I'm not sitting quite right. Pardon me, I'm going to wiggle the camera just a tad because I'm going to scoot on the other side of the leg of the tripod. Oh, that's better. Okay. Gotta make sure you're comfortable. And sometimes I don't do that my own self, and that causes issues. So, you know, make sure you're comfortable. I like that. That's an interesting composition. I might even do one more tucked in here, a littler one. Okay. So then you can embellish however you decide you're going to embellish these little guys. I think I'm going to go ahead and do like stripes in this one. I think something like that, and maybe with some sparkle. And if you're gonna do sparkle, usually I do this kind of intuitively, but if you want to kind of plan your sparkle, you can use your pencil and say that you want your sparkle to run kind of right about here. So you can put in a little piece of little bit of pencil right there to give you a guideline, and then just come up to that pencil mark and then leave that spot in the middle there blank. But if you use that pencil as a guideline, you're more likely to put your sparkle in where they're kind of aligned. And I am planning a sparkle video. I just have to get some of these daily tangles taken care of. Probably won't get recorded today, but I'm sure within the week I will try to get that done. And I don't think I'm going to show you guys drawing the little stripes. I think I'm going to off camera draw a tile with a bunch of stripes already on it. So then all I have to show you is how to put the sparkle in. Yeah, there's something not right with this pen. I must have accidentally, maybe when I put it away and moved things from across the room to over here, maybe I don't know what happened. This pen doesn't seem to be writing properly. You might not notice, but it's the way I can feel it in my hand. It doesn't seem right. Something's wrong. But I'll put up with it for a while. But see how when you use the pencil to give you kind of a guideline, that the sparkles all line up, and when they do that, it creates this movement in your piece, and you can kind of see how it kind of, it's hard to describe on the camera, kind of is bending like this, bending this way. Let's see, what else do I want to do? I can follow this as a thought as to what to do with this. I can go this way with my lines, and that gives it a different look. I could color that in and sparkle as well, but I think I'm not. I could I could make these look like holes by putting just a bit like that. You see how that changed that from being just a rice shape to being like a hole, and you can see through there. It's a simple technique to create a hole by just doing that on one side. If you do it on both sides, then that effect disappears. If you do it on one side, then those become holes. So that's interesting. And I might do darker on this one side of this one because I've got this kind of funky thing happened with my pen up there at the top. Right up here it did some weird thing, so I'm gonna just make that line ever so much bigger. There, like that. This one here, what do I want to do? Okay, I'm going to put some spirals in here. And then I feel like these need to be dark on this side. For some reason, I feel like that's really what it's calling me to do, so I'm going to do that. Just on the bottom part. And okay. What else? I feel like it's a little off balance. It needs something up here. And anytime I feel like it needs something up here, I tend to go with either a muka or a fescue curly leafy kind of a thing. And I think that is where I'm headed now too. Something like that, with maybe some just fescue-y looking ones here. Maybe one in there. There you go. They look like some sort of undersea mollusk shell shape something or other. I don't know. Okay, this was called Gemma. And now we need to put a little bit of shading, because the shading will make all the difference in the world. I'm going to start with this one. Shade around these little guys. Just where they're overlapping, where they're not touching anything else from the background. I'm not going to put a shading. Okay. Okay. This big one needs, it's going to have some shading on both the top and the bottom edge, but more on the bottom than the top, just to make it, usually when you have an object that's kind of roundish, the light will fall more on one side than the other. So one side will have a slight more shading, and that gives it that good round appearance like that. And that one is on top of this one, so we need shading there, and it's on top of this one, so we need shading here. What are we doing? Can you see? Let me zoom in a little bit more. Now that I've corrected where I'm sitting, I'm doing a little better with keeping on my page here. I like to put them at the bottom of these muka shapes. Okay. All right, let's see. So far, so good. What do I want to do with these little guys? I think I'm going to just shade them like I did this one. Maybe and this one feels like it needs something, some dots. There we go. That's what it needed. Why, I don't know, but that's what it said it needed, so that's what I did. Okay, so they're gonna have the shading on one side here. And I think maybe here. Like that. Along that little curve. Yeah, that's right. Okay. See how each time you shade it, if you shade it slightly different, then it gives it a different look. What do you think? I think she's done. I still don't think I'm quite right with the angle on my camera, but I'm getting closer. I'm going to fiddle with it again before I do the next one. And I discovered I had my tripod too low, so I was too close to the table, which is why my angle was kind of funky. So I think I need to raise it just a little bit more, and then I'll be good. But there we go. There is Gemma and today's tangle. And I had fun. I hope you guys did too. You all have a blessed day. Bye-bye.